begin. Purrely, come forth and summon for the deck. And by the way, welcome to the top 16 of the Meta Championship Series $2,000 Global Tournament. MCS is here. We are top tier. Thank you for supporting the video by liking, commenting, subscribing, and watching as much as you can so we can upload this in its entirety. Let's go.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Starting this off with the Purrely being summoned from the deck within the draw phase to play around a Duel and Lockbird, which we have been seeing a lot of today. Even has it in their own hand. This is why I save my Max C for the standby phase for when they try to do this. And just like that, just enough for the unaffected from activated effects. And we are making the Nightingale, so we take no battle damage for the rest of this turn, thus guaranteeing we cannot lose this turn. Now, do they play Imperm in their deck? If they did, that would be the main choke point here to Imperm the Nightingale. First, we're going to get draw number 1, draw number 2, draw number 3, triple sleepy draw, and no battle damage. Now let's get thrusting. We're going to thrust the Harpy Feather Duster into the hand so that we can wipe out the back row, then Kaiju the Nor. Draw and Lockbird is going to make it so we cannot add any more cards from the deck to the hand, so the preparation of rights is no good. And the Purrely Happy Memory, making the My Friend Purrely indestroyable by card effects for 2 turns, that is, the turn it's activated and next turn. We try to play Axe of Fools onto the Purrely Nor, and then we're going to Lava Golem it up. Unfortunately, due to it being indestructible, thanks to the Happy, it's going to be recycling 3 cards in the graveyard after that Lava Golem. Happy special... Damn, I think... we lost to Droll, yeah? Droll really got him good. We couldn't prep, we couldn't go into Ohime, we couldn't Ohime search. That got him good. We couldn't get the Ceremony into the graveyard to then send a Mikanko from the deck to the grave. Is Droll the way? Well, what happened here? Murasaki chose to go first after losing as Mikanko. Very interesting. Getting Drolled again. Ain't no way. Now, good thing we already have the Ohime in our hand, which is not activatable to search. We're going to be using the Ceremony, sending a Purification Dance. That's rarely played in Mikanko. Setting up Dimensional Barrier also. What is this? A turn 1 Mikanko deck. What is going on? Now, Purification Dance is quite interesting. If the opponent special summons a monster, you could target 1 monster you control and 1 monster the opponent controls, return them back to the hand. Okay. Yup. And it does not miss the timing. Harpy Feather Duster, wiping up the back row. We're going to declare Xyz monsters from being able to summon this turn. Wipe it up, but Ohime could re-grab back that Purification Dance on your attempt to special summon, which will allow us to get thrusting. So, what's the situation here? Regular Purrely, not a special summon, completely whiffing the top 3 cards of the deck. Ohime, of course, indestroyable by battle, as the Ceremony recycles the Ohime back to the hand. Getting ready to get Droll and Lockbirded as we add a Ceremony, discarding the Rondo, which could steal an opponent's monster with the effect of the Ohime. Ceremony special summon. And whenever we want, we could activate Ohime to target the equip card for non-target equip of an opponent's monster to take control. Now, with the Mikanko Dance in the graveyard, banishing it to special summon a Hugh Lee, our entire field of Mikanko cards, untargetable. So this is quite interesting, reflecting 200 damage here. We have spin back a special summon, and we cannot be targeted, and we could take control of a monster. So how do we do? Even if you have a Purrely Street making your monsters untargetable, the Ohime could still put an equip card onto your untargetable monster. Rondo onto the effect of Purrely attempting to reveal from the hand, so no reveal. Thrusting into a triple tactics talent for a non-target take control or draw 2. Draw 2 it is. And now we have the Purrely Street, but we already activated the Ohime, so that is not going to be an important deal here. We're using Delicious to make the Purrely on the field indestroyable by battle, which means we can make a Happiness, then swing over it continually for lethal damage. We have no more quick effects. That's it. We are done if he makes a Happiness. Purrely Plump, activating the Pretty, sucking up the Plump. We have no way to chain link block the Plump from equipping the Pretty. Non-target monster banished, by the way. Banishing the untargetable Purrely. 1, 2, 3. Sleepy, come to me. And now Plump is going to be sending to the graveyard to suck up the Ohime. And because you can no longer control a Mikanko, you cannot control my Purrely. And then we're going to link this up into a Princess Sprite. Princess Sprite, mill the top card of the deck. If it's a spell or trap, it goes to the hand here, as it does activate Sleepy. Suck it up again with the Plump. Do we have an X Purrely Happiness for game? Do we? Most people do not play it. Looks like we don't. 7 material lump, making the X Purrely Nor, ensuring that it is in defense here. We're going to have a 1 field wipe Zeus. Now, Herald of the Abyss gets countered by a set quick play spell. So it's not even going to send the X Purrely Nor, as the X Purrely Nor activates to draw 1, and that's it. You Herald the Abyss, they summon a Lily, you're fine. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Counter the Herald of the Abyss. I've been saying this ever since the first Meta Weekly. Counter it by summon the Lily, and now we're in trouble. Preparation into the Ohime, holding the Ash for the Ohime. No. Okay, that would be, I would think, the one to Ash. We're going to use water onto the Zeus. We're going to spin the water back. It is better to wait for the activation of the effect, not the activation of the card. Spinning it back in the deck here. It's not really going to matter at all, though. Now, Triple Tactics Talent activatable. And of course, we held on to that Ash to negate. Very well done, countering the Herald of the Abyss. And just like that, let's go. So a reason to activate the X Purrely Nor early onto a water is if you're afraid of them normal summoning a Purrely. As soon as they normal summon a Purrely, then it all becomes untargetable. But otherwise, you could wait for the X Purrely Nor for the activation of the effect, then spin it back, then your Zeus stays in the field, and then their hard once per turn effect to the water so they don't activate another one is not activatable. And just like that, that is a 2-0. This is best of 3, single elimination, 15 card side deck for game 2 and game 3. Begin. Max C in the draw phase. I generally think it's better to wait for the standby phase because they usually activate their Purrely cards in the draw phase to play around a draw and lockbird. So you wait for their activation, then you chain to it. Lily grabbing the my friend Purrely. And, you know, Purrely really does not care that much about getting Max C. They're going to brute force, set up the X Purrely Nor anyway. Even better, setting it up with the Purrely Leap to have you draw 1 less card, that is. Card draw here. Draw number 3. Draw number 4. And we're going to toss in a Max C, which we can now call by. Called by Banish, unfortunately, for Purrely, you cannot spin your own Max C back into your deck to dodge the called by. And we have triple spin, and it's unaffected from activated effects. So how does Exosister deal with an unaffected X Purrely Nor? Well, you hope that they activate it as they are. Sophia is going to be spun back into the deck here, as we are going to still be special summoning the Elise. We're going to get thrusting. Thrust, attempting to add a card from the deck to the hand. A normal spell or trap is going to be negated. What now? Elise taking out the Lily. Now back to you. Now, what is good here as the My Friend Purrely reveal 3 come to me with a face-up attack position Elise. All we have to do is make it indestructible by battle with the effect of a Delicious, and we have definite lethal damage. We're going to be activating, making the Happy, but with no Delicious, we're just going to have to go in for that direct damage instead. To battle we go, activate, come to me from the deck, searching our Delicious Memory. And we don't have any more additional attacks. The additional attacks are only on the monsters. Now with that, we're going to be making Anima. With Anima sending the Lily into the graveyard, we're going to shuffle it back in the deck with the Leap. Turn 3. Now we're going to get Sleep in. Sleep, equip the Happy with it, so we can draw an additional card during the standby phase. Do we discard a card? Yes, we do. Discard summon the Lily. Lily searching for the Street, which is only going to protect your newly summoned monsters the turn they are summoned. Delicious, but we did not equip because we want to use that Delicious to make a Plump. With the Plump, we could attach the Pretty, then attach 2 spell and trap cards from either player's graveyard to get a 5 material to then 6 material X Purrely Nor. We're also gonna have Zorse. Did I say Zorse? Zeus. We have 2 spin, 3 spin. We're not gonna even make an X Purrely Nor here. Ooh. I think we forgot that was gonna happen. I don't think it matters though. We definitely forgot. It does get spun back because of the Purrely Leap. Now, Irene is here, grabbing into a Dark Ruler no more. We're gonna chain Pretty Memory, equip it with the Plump, then banish the Irene off the field. Thus, you cannot special summon the Elise, and I think this will be a surrender. Yeah, what can you do? There's not much you could do here. Equip it up, non-target monster banish, goodbye to the Irene, negate the entire field here. But we don't have Martha. No, this is where it's like, if he has Martha, we lose, potentially. I mean, really, is Martha really going to be a loss here? We would at least get rid of the Zeus, and we would still win. I think so. What is this, 10 material Plump? Because you moved a card from the graveyard, we're going to be triggering the Irene to go into Mikanko, which will be a targeting banish of a card in the field or in the graveyard. Banishing the Plump, triggering the Street, trigger the My Friend Purrely, add up to 3 quick play spells in the graveyard, back to our hand, and summon a Purrely onto the field. Very well done. Come to me. And there's something I want to note on an earlier play, but I do have to look up Martha to give that commentary. But I don't want to interrupt this gameplay so far yet. We're going to be using the triple tactics talent, taking control of the Mikanko. And just like that, open field, lethal damage, taking this to a game 2. So what I want to commentate on is, I believe he, whether on purpose or by accident, played around a Martha. Martha states you have to control no monsters or only Exceeds monsters, so by waiting for the Elise to activate from the hand, then spin the monster on the field, instead of spinning the monster early, the Elise gets summoned, and then with Martha in your hand, if you had one, it would not be activatable. Even with an Exosister on the field, you would think it's activatable. It is not. So that's what happened on the earlier turns, and I do believe that was done purposely. Set 3 pass. Okay, well, we got Vadis. If Pack tries to do something with the graveyard, we could then chain summon our 2 from the deck, which we're gonna have to use the Vadis early, summoning double Exosister from the deck. Sophia and Irene. So if we activate Lily equipping from the graveyard, they are both going to get triggered here. My Friend Purrely, reveal 3, come to me, happy. With that happy, we're gonna be using the Sleepy, discarding Nibiru, summoning Purrely. Purrely could use the happy from the hand so that we do not trigger the Exosisters on the field here. Grabbing our Street, making our newly summoned Purrelys untargetable here. And there goes happy. Happy is gonna be able to attack up to 4 times here. We could use Delicious to make the other one indestroyable by battle so we can keep on attacking. We do grab Delicious. With Delicious, get Equip in. Ash could Chainlink block if we really wanted to. Not saying that we should. If we do want to Ash, it would maybe be beneficial to do so on the Happy to stop the searches. So if we do it on this, he does not get additional attacks, and that would end the searching. So we're going to hold on to the Ash. Equip, and then we have that additional attack. Now the My Friend Purrely, protected from card effect destruction for 2 turns here. Happy again, being the 5th material, and with 5 materials, we can now make the X Purrely Nor. Now, if we did Chainlink block the 5th material attach, we could have attached the 5th material with the Pretty Memory anyway. So both the field spell and the My Friend Purrely cannot be destroyed by card effect here, and we are setting up a big Purrely leap. We did it with the graveyard, so that is triggering the Irene on the field to make a Mikanko. Mikanko banishing a Pretty during the end phase here. So Street is from the deck or graveyard. Now the Mikanko does not have the effect to banish anything right now. We are going to be drawing up to 2 cards here. We're gonna chain Max C, using the leap chain to the Happiness, so it's gonna be draw 1, then draw 2. And the X Purrely Nor, when it becomes effectable, will not be targetable thanks to the field spell. And we're going to also be spinning back the Mikanko before it activates to search the deck. And that is our second draw. To battle we go, evenly match, banishing everything but the Purrely Nor with double spin. So Martha is going to be summoning itself plus a monster from the deck. Do we spin to stop the Exceed? Right here, right now, that's exactly what we are doing. Spinning the Martha back in the deck, then ending the turn. Did not normal summon the Elise. We did have that open normal summon. Purrely Street is back. Sleepy is going to be negated by Ash from summoning a Purrely from the deck here. But we do have a Pretty to discard that Nibiru. Pretty. Discard Nibiru into Lily. Lily is going to be searching for the My Friend Purrely, guaranteeing a quick play spell from the deck. We're going to be using the Purrely Nor to spin back into the deck. Now, this Purrely Nor is going to go away during the end phase due to the Purrely Leap. Grabbing a regular Purrely, hopefully getting lucky. Randomly revealing no quick play spells. We have a My Friend Purrely instead. Lily is going to be equipping the Happy from the graveyard, making our Purrely Happiness, which could search for at least one card. Could search for a Pretty, then make a Beauty in main phase 2 if we want. Attack, attack, attack. Are we going to turn the Purrely Nor into a 2-material Zeus? Grabbing the Pretty, as I suspected. 2-material Zeus, plus a Beauty. And we could draw one with the Street effect during the standby phase with a Sleepy. Will we draw into a hand trap? So we have negate a monster plus wipe the field once. Set up that Sleepy, draw one. Let's see what we draw into. Triple Tactics talent, not activatable from the standby phase effect, that is. Link into Artemis. Huh? We're killing ourselves. Yeah. Yep. Oh, okay. And just like that, Pack is going 2-0 in the top 16, eliminating Exosister. Very well done. Lethal damage. All right. Fun fact. What's the fun fact, Gia? Valeru?
Valeru did this entire tournament with no side deck.
Valeru chose to not side deck for the tournament.
He just didn't have one.
Okay.
He did not care.
Did not care. All right. Let's go. Fun fact. Thank you. Rikka. And I think the Rose Whip is a good tech against Purrely. Your opponent can only activate one Purrely card. Now, we're not playing against Purrely. This is Dragon Link. Two decks that have very long turn ones here. Ash is going to be negating the Lubellion, searching for a Bestial, giving us access to our Triple Tactics talent too. Look at the hand and spin back in the deck. Unexpected Die is a huge starter for Rikka. So we now make Striker Dragon with the Black Metal Dragon, searching for a Red Eyes Darkness metal that's already in our hand. Into a Barload Savage Dragon, we have our Omni Negate plus our Monster Negate plus the Hidden Effect Veiler. And the Ball Drake could, after we negate with the Barload, we could then banish a monster summon from the extra. We're going to Small World this up. No, you're not. Negate! Remember, he knows the hand except one card, and that one card being the Therion Regulus, which was not good enough. Now it's time to side deck. Oh boy. Did you change your deck? You're still playing Rikka, right? We're going to banish Regulus, grabbing a Loki. That is the bridge. Very well done. Loki into the Dryas. Imperm, I would say, is pretty good here. Not going to be Imperming, grabbing the Sunbind Sowing. Now gets the additional effect of summoning a healer from the extra deck with taking damage here as the twin reborns a Loki from the grave. What are you saving Imperm for? For Mudon instead or for Jasmine? Healer going to be healing as we now make the Jasmine. So now we're going to want to heal with Jasmine on the field, triggering her effect to search for a plant. And then the other effect is tribute a monster it's pointing to summon a plant from the deck, which Imperm will stop both of those effects. Yes? Nova, if you're not Imperming here, I don't know what you're waiting for. There we go. Negate the Jasmine. Now, we could make another Jasmine and then tribute a monster we're pointing to and summon a Petal. The Petal into the Mudon, Mudon into the Con. Or we got Gamma, so I don't think so. Well, that's a problem. Negate destroying the Jasmine and ending their turn. Even though Jasmine's not destroyed thanks to the Sunbind Sowing, we have no more plays. And we had a card to banish because the Jasmine is a light. We do have Nibiru here. We're going to be counting up the summons. Summon number 1. Summon number 2. Striker grabbing our Boot Sector launch. We have not used up our normal summon yet. Summon number 3. Now, if Dragon Link feels Nibiru on the 5th summon, they take a hard left and they make a Hieratic Seal. So you try to not reveal your Nibiru. You could wait with Nibiru until they make a Borreload. So you do have to be careful. So chaining to Borreload, or okay, just doing it right here. Boom. Chain to Borreload or waiting for the end of the main phase if there's not a Borreload. Big token, we're going to be banishing for the Clap Serpent, making a Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon could pop itself if we have a Recharger in the graveyard, which we do. Recharger adding back, Recharger being discarded through its effect to then summon a monster from the graveyard, which is going to be a Rocket Tracer. Just like that, even through a Nibiru making our Chaos Ruler, we do not have Lubellion in the graveyard, so I do think we want to randomly mill that. Mill a Serenir, mill Lubellion. 5 cards off the top of the deck. What's it going to be? No. Levenier, Safer and Levenier. Okay. Levenier going to be added to the hand. Safer could recycle a card in the graveyard, banishing for the Levenier, activating to take out the Nibiru. To battle we go, we just have 3K. Are we going to Zombie Vampire? We're going to link off the Levenier and the token into a Masquerena. Masquerena could go into a Unicorn to spin a card in the field back to the hand, grabbing back that Levenier and not resummoning it. If you resummon it, it is a hard once return on its effect. Borea equipping a plant. That Borea could send the Loki to then search for the field spell, which could grab a Regulus. But before all of that, let's just spin the Borea back into the extra deck. And then we have to prey on Nibiru, which we're not going to. I'm out. Very well done from both of you. Thank you. Kashtira is too busy knocking out Kashtira in the mirror match. Main decking double Lightning Storm in a side deck tournament. That's quite interesting. Theosis is going to be special summoning from the deck. Our Fenrir. Fenrir searching for a monster that we can normal summon with the Birth. Or we already normal summoned actually, so we cannot do that. Special summoning with the Scareclaw Kashtira, banishing the Theosis with nothing to add back. Now this is a 4th summon as Riseheart banishes the Big Bang, playing into a potential Nibiru here, which we could see there is none. We're going to bang the Shang-Ri, returning Fenrir to summon Fenrir, and then we're going to get a Risen. A Riseheart is here. Every card sent to the graveyard is banished instead, and with 3 material, we could banish any card in the field face down. Everything in defense playing around the Lightning Storm. Unicorn is here. Lightning Storm the back row, goodbye to Impermanence. Triggering the Arise Heart, which triggers cards like Thrust and Triple Tactics Talent here, which we could draw into with the Pot of D. We're going to special summon Fenrir first, and simply make an Arise Heart into Zeus. Think about how you stop this. You don't. It's because you Shang-Ri'd with this nice and awesome field, you have 0 disruption for a 1-card Zeus. That's it. I mean, you can't do anything. Now, there is a possibility that we keep the Arise Heart on the field and don't Zeus. I would think we do Zeus. All right, and I think it was a mistake that we triggered the Theosis if we were going to Zeus, because if we were to swing over this instead, make a Zeus wipe the field, they go to the graveyard instead of being banished. All right, this is the Zeus. Wipe the entire field. With all of that, thanks to the Shang-Ri giving us our 1-card Zeus play, we're going to birth the Fenrir back in the field, searching for a Riseheart. With the Riseheart, we're going to be using Theosis, special summoning a Unicorn from the deck. We already have our Birth and our Theosis. We'll have another Birth in case something happens to that. Pot of D, banishing 10 off the top of the deck face down into a Thrust. We're going to be thrusting into a Set Impermanence. He would have had 3 material on the Riseheart. You're correct. So to correction, if it had 2 material, which it generally will have just 1 material, if you didn't trigger it to get a 2nd material, you do not want to be swinging into it because you have an Arise Heart, then it triggers the Theosis. But in this circumstance, it was better to take it out to stop the 3rd material. Correction, thank you very much. Now, Rise Heart banishing from the deck a unicorn that we could reborn with the birth. Activating birth will trigger the birth, banishing 3 of our cards face down. Goodbye to our Fenrir. But we do have a unicorn that we could interact with. Your birth triggers my birth as we banish from your graveyard, also face down. Unicorn is not going to be activating, but we have Big Eye. Big Eye into what we knew was the impermanence. Why didn't we wait for the activation? Why did we do that? Imperm on a Big Eye stops it from attacking. Like, it still can't attack. This could not attack the turn this effect is activated. If it said, take control of a monster and you also can't attack, then you'd be negating the ability to not be able to attack. Yeah, like, that was not good. We're gonna Zeus up the field to wipe it up. So Leveneer is a card that if you negate, it can now attack. But Big Eye is different. We are going to be maxing in the standby phase. Ash is going to be negating. Follow up, get ready, get ready. How can I see both hands? We're cheating. Birth is going to be birthing our Fenrir back onto the field with only 1 material under that Zeus. We cannot wipe the field again. Rise Heart Special Summon is going to be able to banish from the deck. We're going to be special summoning our Scareclaw Kashtira. To battle we go on the attack of the Fenrir. Goodbye to the Zeus being banished face down. Are we going to bang our Shangri? Do we have that play? No, we're ending just like this. Okay. Pot of E off the top of the deck, whether you're playing Pot of E or Pot of D, because of Pot of P being limited to 1, we're going to get that draw 2, triggering the birth to banish 3 cards face down here. Special summoning our Unicorn. Unicorn searching for Theosis. A lot of people don't want to commit to an Arise Heart because it's easily played around with the Triple Tactics talent. We have Fenrir banishing the Unicorn face down. Theosis special summoning a Fenrir from the deck, searching for a Rise Heart that we already activated to special summon. Birth will birth a monster back onto the field, which we're going to banish a Theosis. Theosis triggering to return a Kashtira back into our hand. Big Eye. Get Big Eye, and Big Eye is going to detach the Fenrir, which will be rebornable with the birth, taking control of the opponent's Fenrir. And to battle we go. Fenrir is negated on that attack thanks to the Scareclaw Kashtira. And now back to you. This is, of course, a hard once per turn. Effect banish. Your birth will trigger my birth, but we did not want to do that, okay? Because then your birth would be triggered from our birth, triggered from your birth. Attacking and banishing an Arise Heart from the extra deck. How many Arise Hearts are gone now? Triple. He's got triple Arise Heart banish face down. Making the Dark Arm Dragon of Annihilation here. Detaching material to pop a card in the field. Detaching material to pop another card in the field. Goodbye, Big Eye. Goodbye to the birth. Setting a bluffed Lightning Storm here. This is very interesting. We have a Rise Heart summon. No way to use the Triple Tactics talent. Just like that with our triple Arise Heart banish face down. We are conceding game 1 within the top 16. Get ready for game 2. Fenrir, come to me. In the TCG, a lot of players within the Kashtira mirror match, they were choosing to go second for game 2 and game 3. Unicorn grabbing the birth, and you may be surprised to find that Kashtira players are not making a Rise Heart in the mirror match turn 1, despite having 3. Spell Fragrance, turning off the Herald of the Abyss, the Theosis, the birth that we'll search for with the Unicorn. We're gonna Daruma flip the entire field face down, set an Ash Blossom. Now back to you. What is going on? Flip up the Unicorn and Fenrir, come to me. Theosis, Droll and Lockbird is going to be locking you down from further adding cards. We're going to get rid of the limited to 1 Zeus from your extra deck, birthing our Unicorn onto the field, wiping out the Unicorn as the Fenrir has nothing face up to banish on attack. 2,500, as long as we're going for that Arise because we have the Anti-Spell Fragrance protecting us from Triple Tactics talent, protecting us from Thrust, protecting us from the Herald of the Abyss, which, you know, should we have set these cards to activate them next turn? What's going on? Did we have a plan to deal with this? We need a Fenrir to banish the Anti-Spell Fragrance. Yeah, if you didn't know how this card works, you have to set your cards for a full your turn and their turn. It's not activatable. So even a quick play spell cannot be used on their turn. And if you're a Pendulum deck, you just, you die. We're going to be equipping a banished card off of you banishing a card, and at the start of the battle phase, we're going to banish you before you turn off our Arise Heart. And just like that, that is a 2-0 victory. Anti-Spell Fragrance stealing the duel here. Let's hop in another. Rikka Princess, special summoning. There's no hand trap in sight. We have Muthana83 with a ton of gifted subs. 10 gifted sub deal. Mine. Thank you very much. I appreciate that immensely. Now let's continue with the turn 1 Rikka play here. Thank you. We have the Aroma Jasmine, tributing the Loki, summoning the Paddle, searching for the Mudan. Mudan will be searching for a Con, allowing us to tribute over an unaffected Purrely Nor. Setting up with the Glamour. Glamour will tribute our Mudan, searching for a Primula and a Princess. Whoa, that's a Cactus Bouncer. What the heck is that? That's going to be special summoning the Primula onto the field. If we can get Cactus Bouncer onto the field here through, let's say, just normal summoning it, while you control another plant monster, neither player could special summon. Okay. Yeah. You can't special summon. So what do we do? While another plant is on the field, neither player could special. Special. Attempts to special. Okay. Purrely, reveal 3, come to me, nothing, ending the turn. What do you do if you can't special? Herald the Abyss, call Earth and Plant, and this is a light, so it would work. Okay. Can't even thrust for it because they're not activating. Oh, this is miserable. This is not good. Activating the my friend Purrely. Duber, I'm so sorry that your Maxi is dead. Set it up. Only 100 defense. Please, put him out of his misery. We're actually going to protect the Lily from being destroyed by battle? And we could do it again? Okay. Protect the Lily from battle destruction. Another turn, we are fully protected. Well, the Fang Lancer could just spin it back, but now there's another Lily to protect. Battle number 2. No Delicious to protect it from battle. We'll wait for another turn. Normal summoning our Princess. We are going to be setting up a sheet into the back row, which was otherwise not activatable because we do need a Rikka on the field. Double Gamma. My friend Purrely, reveal 3. We could summon, we could activate, we could Harpy Feather Duster, wipe out that back row. But again, there's just no out to the bouncer. Some people are playing Lightning Storm, but you have a My Friend Purrely, so that doesn't really work. We just gotta draw into the Herald of the Abyss if you do play one. If you were playing Book of Moon, that could be something. Kurikara is not gonna work because they are not going to be activating the Cactus Bouncer. Purely too small. First turn killing with Cactus Bouncer defeating Purrely. Let's take this to game 2, and now you have to look at your side deck and think of all the cards that out the Cactus Bouncer. Starting this off with a Sleepy Memory in the main phase, playing into the Droll in Lockbird. Okay. Purrely, otherwise you draw phase, summon, you add, they cannot Droll. This also plays into a Veiler. Droll them up. You are now locked up. We're going to triple Tactics Talent. So, I mean, you could be playing into it on purpose if you wanted to triple Tactics Talent. That's where you do change your mind if you do want this to be triggered. Looking at the hand, returning the thrust. I can't imagine we really wanted this, though. Maybe he wanted to get Veilered, not Drolled. Going to draw into another Droll, by the way, which is pretty good against Purrely when they have the attack, as the happiness cannot add from the deck and continually reduce and continually attack. We are going to be measuring these summons here. We're on the 3rd summon. This is 5 summons, just like that. Okay, when do we Nibiru? We're going to heal. We're going to make a Melius. Ooh, this is the lethal play we're attempting here, as we're going to be summoning a Thrasher. Thrasher is going to be able to attack twice in at 3,200. And we're going to be chaining Nibiru to this. Maxi is a draw 2 off of Nibiru. Summon, then summon token. Tribute the field. Draw 2. Surely we're going to have to play after drawing 2. We already used up our normal summon, as you can see here. Unexpected die, no good. We do have the thrust, though. Thrusting into a Glamour. Glamour is going to free up the field. Or wait, Glamour can't tribute. We have to tribute a plant monster, so we actually cannot tribute the token. Special summoning the Princess into a Dryas. Okay, if we take battle damage, the Dryas will then summon from the extra deck a monster, and we heal back the damage we take. and also cannot be attacked into. Lily searching a Purrely, and we played it on Duel Lockbird this time, as you could see. That's very well done here. The Lily is going to be equipping from the graveyard, making a happiness. Okay. And now we're going to be using My Friend Purrely. With My Friend Purrely, we are setting up the Pretty Memory. With the Pretty Memory, we could make a Beauty. And if Beauty were to have a quick play card, we could change the battle position of the token to then attack into it for lethal. But our first attack has to be on the token. So that does not work out. Beauty is negating you here, though. And we did get Duel Lockbirded, so the happiness cannot search for that lethal damage, which we would have had. Now making Downer Magician into a Zeus. Happy, take out the token, grab a Delicious, make the Dryas indestroyable by battle, Beauty negate it, attack for game. But this should still be enough. You have double field wipe and a Beauty negates. Negating the petal before it activates, and just like that, it is 1-1. Let's go to game 3. Okay. Maxi right away. Mudon Tribute, grab the Con. We already have a Con, so we're going to be grabbing a second Con anyway. Now we are thrusting into nothing as the Ash Blossom negates. Even though we were just going to set the card, there is a chance that you could have chained Special Summon a monster onto the field in the resolution to add a card to their hand. Con setting up from the deck a Rikka Sheet. Rikka Sheet could tribute an opponent's monster to take control of another monster. Okay, we have no Princess for negates. That is playing around the Triple Tactics talent here, not activatable. Top 3 of the deck come to me. Delicious Memory. Now, by setting up with the Streets, we can't target a Special Summon monster. So we can't sheet on anything. How are we sheeting? We can't. We're going to use the Plump, equip the Pretty, then Plump can now suck up a card in the field by sending another card we control to the grave. We're going to be activating the My Friend Purrely. This is the Ash choke point here as we add a Delicious Memory. Set Delicious, send Delicious, suck up the Con. Plump is going to plump up from both cards in the graveyard. 3,800 attack here. 6 material, now 7 material Nor, and it's going to be 8 material. End phase set up. Okay, we're sucking. It's actually going to be 9 material. 9 material, and we're going to draw 1. Draw 1. Which does make us susceptible to a Kurikara and also enables a Thrust. Thrust into a Herald of the Abyss, that is. The X-Purrely Nor, still unaffected from activate effects, going to spin back the Con before it tributes the X-Purrely Nor. This is not looking good for Duber. Spinning back the pedal on summon right away, not giving it a chance to activate Purrely Street, equipping another Delicious onto the X-Purrely Nor, making it 6,500 attack. Nothing in the hand. This is it. Reveal 3, come to me, guaranteed. Happy Memory. Happy Memory is going to make the My Friend Purrely indestructible. We're going to be adding a Purrely. We can normal summon it. On that normal summon, we're going to randomly add a Happy Memory off the top of the deck to our hand. Lily becoming a Happy. We have 8,500 damage in the field here, still not lethal. Now, with that Pretty equipping onto the Beauty, that is in fact our lethal damage. And just like that, with a 2-1 victory, eliminating Cactus Bouncer Duber Rikka from the tournament. Oh boy, you didn't have to deal with that turn 1 Cactus Bouncer again. Good job to both of you. Thank you. Let's keep on going. And Super Poly going first actually could work against Kashtira. With the Shangri and a Rise Heart, you could fuse them. Or the Rise Heart plus a Dark that you control, you could fuse them. Let's go. Now, generally, Branded Despia does not play into a Nibiru. But with the new Branded Despia support, they could be playing into it. We're going to be counting up the summons here. From the deck, we have Cartesia. Albion sending from the deck to the graveyard in Albaz. And randomly drawing that card, we're going to be on summon number 2. So the Alubur is protected from impermanence thanks to the Cartesia. The Albion is protected from the impermanence thanks to the Cartesia. And then this will be summon number 4. Oh boy, you're definitely playing into it. I was going to say Imperm just to make them play into Nibiru. That's summon 5. Okay, and we are going to Nibiru. Cartesia is going to be negated. Did we really need to do that, though? So we're going to banish the Cartesia to dodge the negate. Whatever Cartesia would have summoned would have been tributed. Now, the Gangrel could activate while in the graveyard, so maybe you wanted to avoid that. So the Gangrel would not have been activating here. It did not exist on the field or in the graveyard when you activated your Nibiru. Masquerade, which will be summonable if there's an extra deck monster on the field. Nibiru, it's up. Set up that token, and we are now activating to wipe out your Nibiru during the end phase, setting up a Mercurier. Albion setting up a Retribution here. When an effect activates that wants a special summon, we could shuffle our 2 monsters in the graveyard back of the deck to negate. We're going to use Branded Banishment to reborn the Mirror Jade back onto the field for our non-target monster banish. Now, this could be tricky here. What do we do with the Unicorn being special summoned? If you banish it, they could then summon another Unicorn from the hand. And in this case, if you banish it, they could reborn it with the Birth. So Mirror Jade, not too effective here because it does not banish face down. We are getting rid of the Unicorn, and as I said, follow up Birth, birthing it back in the field. And we do have Mercurier to negate the Unicorn from searching for the Theosis. Negate, since we have the Mirror Jade. And that does mess us up badly. The Unicorn will now look at the extra deck. Lubellion is a pretty good card to banish here, or we're going to get rid of the Mirror Jade. The second copy, that is. Albion searching for a Branded Lost. And what are we going to do here? If we activate Branded Fusion, the Birth can actually chain banish the Albion face down. We're going to be banishing the Mercurier, summoning the Serenir. The Unicorn's going to be looking at the extra deck here, getting rid of a Lubellion, generally a one of in the deck. Come to me, Kit. Kit can special summon, searching for a branded card, then returning a card from the hand back in the deck. We got Branded in white. We don't need the Branded Lost. Tributing for Lubellion from the graveyard to set up a branded spell or trap. The Lost that we return back in the deck would be a good use of that. That's exactly what we're doing. Everything in attack position, 12,700 damage on the field. And just like that, game 1 going to Branded Despia. Through Mirror Jade and Mercurier, completely disrupting the turn 2 play of Kashtira. We got Pathfinder, we got Unicorn, we got a Max C right away. Find the path into the field spell. Now, this does play into a Drone Lockbird here, but it also baits out Disruption. Some people imperm the Pathfinder, they may Ash Blossom it. Pot of P digging deep. We could triple Tactics Thrust and make it activatable. We could use it right now since you Maxed us. And we could set a card like Daruma or Dimensional Barrier, which is anti-Max C. Okay, triple tactics talent set. I mean, isn't setting an impermanence better? I think, right? I don't know what that's for, but okay. Now, we are going to Allure of Darkness. We made sure to... Wait. Did he special summon the Unicorn and did normal summon it? I missed that. Yeah, that was not good. Let's go. Unicorn activating to look at the extra deck, banishing face down. Lubellion with the Noah Rise Hard in the field, so it is activatable, grabbing the Serenir. We are going to Albion send... Oh, he normal summoned the Pathfinder. Okay, correction. So he had no other choice. Okay, he had to do that. Oh, correction. Thank you. Summon the Cartesia from the deck. Birth is activating to banish 3 cards face down from the graveyard. Goodbye to the Albaz, banishing the Albaz before it goes face down. Lubellion could not return a face down Albaz back in the deck. Alubur with the Cartesia protecting it from the impermanence. Book of Moon Cartesia so that we could imperm the fusion monster here. This works out. We're going to be fusing with the field into a Proskenion. Proskenion could steal an extra deck monster from the graveyard. Also, it deals effect damage equal to the original attack of a monster it destroys by battle. Rusting into a Branded in white. We're going to Branded Fusion into the Albion, which we already used the Birth. So you'd be Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Birth. Imperm, negate. We're not chaining Super Poly to the Imperm negate here. And now we're going to follow up Branded in white. Banishing from the graveyard to make our Masquerade. -600 off of every card effect activation. and 400, then burning for 24. 25 that is. And it's not quite lethal damage, but if you activate anything, you lose. 100 life points left. Now we're going to Super Poly in the battle phase where you cannot activate anything. Double Masquerade, lethal damage, and that is a 2-0 victory. Dragon Ravine, discarding a card to send a dragon from the deck to the graveyard. Otherwise, you want to search for a Dragoonity. We did not Ash. We have Gamma ready to activate. Reem is searching for another Dragon Ravine, and it is more than once per turn activatable. Discarding Imperm, searching for a Legatus. Legatus, if you control a Ravine, special summon onto the field, and then we're going to Maxi to play around the Gamma, waiting for a body to be on the field. Ending our turn here, as we now Lubellion gets searching for a Magna Hut. We're going to be saferding, sending itself to the graveyard to search our deck for a Clap Serpent, also making the Gamma activatable if they were to Ash. Now we are Striker Dragoning. Striker Dragon is going to be searching for our Boot Sector launch as the Clap Serpent grabs a Wyver Burster. And we have no way to stop this 8,000 direct damage. Finish him. All right, it's a game 2. Got the Baby Rock in our hand again. Gold Sark banishing from the deck. What are we banishing here? A Tempest. Tempest, when banished, will be activating to grab a Wind monster here, grabbing our Remus. Remus discarding to grab a Dragoonity Ravine. Dragon Ravine, that is. Send the Unicorn from the deck to the graveyard, grabbing a Legatus. Because we have a Ravine, we're going to summon itself onto the field. Remus is going to be summoning itself onto the field also to now make a Gay Durg. Gay Durg generally grabbing a Zephyros, but going to grab a Goose Mare instead, the Goose Arm that is. And the Baby Rock being discarded is going to summon itself onto the field as we now make a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, able to negate any monster effect as the Goose Arm summons a Dragoony from the graveyard to now make a Romulus. What? On to the Unicorn, summoning a Fenrir from the deck. Fenrir activating, searching for another Fenrir. Okay, thank you, finally ending. We could spin any face-up card in the field back to the hand, non-targeting. We could Monster Negate, we could Omni Negate, we could Omni Negate, we could banish a face-up, we could banish from the extra deck. Okay, let's go. It's about 5 disruption plus the Unicorn. Okay, Coconut just, writing it down. Thank you. Now I know what your deck does. We do have to potentially be mindful of the Gamma. When is the Gamma Negate going to be happening here? Striker Dragon searching for the Boot Sector launch. We're going to draw Lockbird. No more adding for you, so we can't Romulus add. We're going to make a Hieratic Seal, though. Setting up the Boot Sector launch, popping it with the Tracer, summoning a Recharger from the deck, making a Borreload Savage Dragon. This could be our Psyframe Gear Gamma play. Negate. Omni Negate. No more. Now, we do not have Gamma to negate Max C. We do have Fenrir, which is summonable. The Turtle can trigger the Hieratic Seal to summon a monster from the deck. Are we small worlding with the Fenrir or the Turtle? I mean, Fenrir could search another Fenrir. That ends our turn. I mean, they only have 1 card in their hand. What's the best they could do? We're fine, right? Tribute summon with Magna Hut. Trigger the effect to summon a Safer from the deck. Safer, it's searching for a Wyver Burster. Holy moly. That is a problem. Romulus searching for the Dragon Ravine, grabbing a Collapsed Serpent from the deck to the hand with the effect of the Wyver Burster, banishing the Wyver Burster, making a Pisty. Now, the Pisty could summon a banished or engraved dragon if we have a monster pointing to the same spot it's pointing to. Discarding Wyver Burster, sending Lubellion. Safer, it's going to add the Lubellion in the graveyard back to the hand, discarding to search for a Bestial. Come to us, our Serenir. Serenir banishing the Wyver Burster, summoning itself here to now make a Lubellion from the graveyard, tributing it. Sending another Lubellion from the deck to the grave, setting up a Regain, now making a Triple Burst Dragon to now activate the Pisty to summon a monster onto the field. Now with this Rocket Tracer, we're going to be making a Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon could pop the Pisty, add the Recharger. Recharger could discard to then summon a monster from the grave. What are we summoning? Overload Savage Dragon is back on the field, and just like that, it's there just for the damage. That is 8,000 damage. We passed our turn to Max C, and he put 8,000 damage on the field. Wow. Tributing with the Bestial to trigger the Hieratic Seal. 8,000 damage. Holy moly. No hand trap for the turn. 1 branded Despia. We're going to be searching for a Bestial Aliber, grabbing our branded Fusion. No Ash to negate. There it is. Mirror Jade, non-target monster banish. And the Rinbrum will negate the Mirror Jade, spinning back the Lubellion back to the hand. So we could use the effect of Albion in the end phase to set up a branded spell or trap. Very well done. That is a bluff, and we now have branded banishment. So what we accomplished here is monster negate, non-target monster banish. We have extra deck monster negate, then spin a monster back to the hand, and we could fuse using the graveyard or just reborn our Mirror Jade if it's sent to the graveyard to then activate it again. There's about 4 disruptions plus that Max C. How do we play through? Not called by the graving on the Max C, by the way. We are going to Mirror Jade, attempt to non-target monster banish. As we banish, we don't know. We're going to be popping the Absa Router, summoning a monster from the deck. On resolution, goodbye to the Rocket Tracer. Now the Absa Router being sent to the graveyard will be activated to search the deck for a Rocket. We have already used up our normal summon, but we can make a Striker for the Boot Sector, then summon it onto the field. We have Perskenian now. Perskenian is not a disruption, grabbing a Caliber. With the Striker Dragon, this will be the Boot Sector launch. Now the Boot Sector could summon rockets from the graveyard up to the difference of monsters that your opponent has more than you. Now the Rinbrum is going to negate the Striker and spin it back to the extra deck, so there's going to be no Boot Sector launch play here. Dragon Ravine, discarding Veiler, sending a Saranir. Saranir is, we can't beat this. We're also under Max C. Rebellion, we do have an Ash. Ash is going to negate. Will we cross out Designate? No, because I didn't even care about that search. Now, if you Max C me, that's something different. I definitely do care about that. We are going to negate. Negate that Max C, and then Seifert is really going to pop off here. 1-card combo is going to be doing the full thing. Lubellion will be setting up a branded spell or trap into the back row. Now we link this off into a Borland Dragon, which cannot be targeted by monster effects, indestructible by battle and card effects, and can negate a monster on the field, and you cannot chain to its negate. We have Lubellion searching for a Bestial. We do have the backup effect Veiler also here. Albaz will very easily be negated as you cannot chain anything to it, and Rocket Tracer is now on the field. You could follow up with the branded in white though, and how do you out an untargetable, indestructible Borland? Well, the Mirror Jade very easily outs it. By banishing my monster, I will trigger the regain to return it back in my deck to draw 1. Did not draw into a hand trap. We have our own Lubellion. Saranir sending from the deck to the graveyard a Retribution, which will recycle a branded spell or trap in the grave back to the hand. We're going to be using the branded in white to come forth and summon an Albion, which is completely protected from effect Veiler thanks to the branded Lost. By Chainlink wanting the Albion, the Lost will not miss the timing on the newly summoned Mirror Jade. So this is quite interesting. You have to toggle on the summon of the Borreload or the Mirror Jade if you want to activate them and still be protected from effect Veiler. So we're not doing that. We're going to be sending a branded fusion, add back the branded fusion. There is no Ash Blossom to, wait, we didn't add back the branded fusion? Okay. We're going to be taking out the Rocket Tracer, popping the Albion, taking out the Regained. Kind of, how did we not Mirror Jade this turn? What happened? Okay. Now, we are going to be Chaos Spacing, discarding Effect Veiler, getting negated by the Ash Blossom. We can now Chaos Space, return a banished card back on the deck to draw 1. Return back the Collapse Serpent. Maybe we'll get lucky. Well, you know, we have Seifert here, which is pretty good. Now, the Borreload Furious can target one monster, which will be the Borreload itself, to pop a card in the field, but the Borland is ready to negate as long as we have a Rocket in the grave. We're going to be linking this off into a Striker Dragon. Striker Dragon could pop itself with a Recharger in the grave, which we do not have. Seifert recycling a monster in the graveyard, grabbing back that Lubellion. Branded Banishment is going to be reborning the Albion, at least we're attempting to do so, as the Borland also preemptively negates the Borload, as you could not chain Borload to the Borland negating you. Stopping the Branded Banishment, no summon, no fusion, no pop. Completely negated permanently. We're going to Lubellion searching for a Serenir, and now we're going to be making a Baron de Floor pop any card in the field plus negate. Goodbye Borload, there's no Alibur in the graveyard to summon, and just like that, that is 9,300 damage, lethal. I thought we had like a Mirror Jade banished Borland. I'm not really sure what happened. Uh-oh, Max C, and no way to stop it. Chain the Max C to the Branded Fusion. We could just summon a Rinbrum and then stop there. So it would just be draw one. There's the Rinbrum. There's the draw one. Do we further commit? Yes, we do. We're going to summon a Cartesia. Then we're ending. Rinbrum will be waiting for an extra deck monster to activate to negate, and the Imperm is going to be negating the Cartesia from being able to fuse. We have Magna Hut banishing the Albaz, so the Rinbrum's second effect of being able to reborn the Albaz will be stopped. Call by the Grave negating the Max C. So we're gonna fully have our way with this Rinbrum being the only active disruption of being able to negate an extra deck monster, then spin a monster on the field back. Surely we could play through it. Magna Hut activating, Seifert searching. This could even be a Chaos Angel if we wanted. Is it? Yes, it is. Oh my cheeses. Chaos Angel is unaffected from the Rinbrum. Rinbrum getting banished. All of our Synchro monsters are unaffected from monster effects, and none of our monsters can be destroyed by battle. We have Striker Dragon activating to search for the Boot Sector launch. So the Wyvern Burster grabs a Collapsed Serpent. Boot Sector, which will be able to summon the Tracer from the hand as we already used up our normal summon. Can summon up to 2 rockets from the hand. So setting up with a Dragon Ravine, sending an Absol Router to summon 2 would be more ideal here, unless we want to set up with something else. We are going to be discarding the Harpy Feather Duster, sending Serenir to set up a Lubellion instead. And with that, Seifert's going to add back the Lubellion. Lubellion will be not added back, as it's going to be banished by the opposing Bystial. Okay. Disrupted on that play, making a Pisty. Now with the Recharger, we can make a Striker Dragon. Both are pointing to the same spot, as we can now pop our Chaos Angel, add back a Recharger, activate to summon a monster back in the field. We're going to be summoning our Tracer and reborning our Seifert to now make a Borland. Interesting plays here. Borland is going to negate the summoning level 4 non-tuner to now make a level 8 Synchro Borload Savage Dragon for our Omni negates. Battle phase, wipe up both monsters with just the Borland. Borload will negate anything, Borland will negate any monster. We're going to use up one of our 2 negates to stop the Serenir from sending from the deck to the graveyard, like a Retribution which would recycle the Branded Fusion. Still have an active negate, searching for a Druid Swarm to be usable, which could be quite effective against Branded Despia. Ash off the top, set the Ash, making the Bystial activatable, banishing the Blazing Cartesia during the end phase, and unfortunately for Branded Despia, April has to surrender to Dragon Link. Thank you very much to both of you. I appreciate you both. And that is the end of the top 16. Make sure to watch the top 8 and grand finale, plus the top deck list. Thank you very much for your support. Let's go.